Maybe you're shaming yourself, you're feeling like a failure because you can't sustain what all the gurus say you need to do for visibility in your coaching business. Or you're blaming yourself for lack of motivation, for not hitting those big goals. But listen, if you're currently not generating sales in your business, or you're working with clients, but they're not your soulmate clients, or it's a feast and famine cycle, and sometimes you have a full roster and sometimes no one's coming through and you're wondering how next month is gonna go, it's not because you're incompetent. It's definitely not because you're lazy. It's because the strategy that you're firing does not actually support your natural energy. 1. 2, you're focusing solely on external strategies and not doing anything to align and embody your centered CEO founder self. And that is more important than some of these external strategies. I promise you that. If you're here, chances are you're on the brink of burnout. You've just taken the quiz that's helped you uncover your core block in your coaching business. And if you found this video and you haven't, then go to the description below and take the quiz, or you can go to renewyouliving.com/CBC quiz to uncover one of the 4 core blocks that's stopping momentum in your business, causing that burnout, chaotic crash and burn feeling you might be experiencing. And after the quiz, you got the results, and that's going to give you some how-to fixes. Make sure to star that email so you have access to the quiz results and you can refer back to it. And now we're here at the 6-figure blueprint. I want to dive in with you and uncover why you're feeling burnt out, stuck, uninspired, underpaid, even though you're doing all the right things and following the right advice. Maybe your Instagram is freaking polished. Your email list is supposedly nurtured, and you're showing up live every week. Like, honestly, you're doing all the doing. That's like one end of the spectrum. And then perhaps you could be on the spectrum that has a business, but really not putting themselves out there. Like, no one knows you exist. And if no one knows you exist, how can they know that your solution is the thing that they need? There's 2 extremes that we teeter on, especially when we're just trying to make it work. And we really have a big heart. And we're trying to get out there. We're trying to get our coaching business to freaking thrive. That's where the real alignment gap lives. And I understand both extremes. I've been in both extremes. I'm going to be really transparent with you. Business is simple at this stage, what we're trying to do. In business, you're focusing on what I call the 6-figure success cycle. Say that 5 times fast. The 6-figure success cycle. Yeah, you're not going to do it. It's the client life cycle flow. We have Captivate, which is all about generating traffic and attracting visibility. And why is that so important? Because if no one knows you exist, then how are they going to buy? You're worried about sales over here, but you really need to be worried about visibility right here. And then once you get that going, we have Cultivate. Cultivate is all about nurturing and building a community, because you can attract eyeballs and have a lot of followers and have a lot of people in your community, but it doesn't mean that they are engaged. They're feeling nurtured. They are feeling seen. And that's what we want to do in the cultivate phase. That's everything from what we're doing on our social media platforms to what we're doing behind the scenes in our email list, which is what we actually own and where we need to focus a lot of our attention to. As I'm laying this roadmap down, you might be listening and be like, I don't know how to do X. I don't know how to do Y. I'm freaking out. I do understand. I'm not going to leave you hanging, but I am going to challenge you to acquire some skills. You are a visionary badass. Okay. Let's be honest. You're in this business, you're an entrepreneur because you have grit, you have resilience, you see a world beyond what you are currently experiencing, and you want to create change in people's life. That is incredible. And it's not for the freaking weak. And just know that as I'm laying these things down, I'm going to support you. I had to acquire skills. I went to school for musical theater. And if you know anything about a rigorous audition program that is musical theater, and you know anybody in your life that has gone that path of acting or being on the stage, I mean, that is true grit, resilience, and humble pie. Because a lot of the times your career is more no's than it is yeses. I took parts of my past experience that I can use in my current reality and really leverage those. And that's what I'm asking you to do. And I'm going to help you uncover. If you're like, maybe you just look at yourself and you're like, I don't think anything's really like that cool. Well, guess what? That's what my skill sets are. I went to school to understand how to be marketable for the stage. And I'm going to help you leverage your things that are super marketable and brilliant about you. Living in the center, in the pocket of what you do freaking best and letting everything else catch up to that. My point to say is I didn't have any skills in copywriting. I don't have any skills in ads. I don't have any skills in digital marketing, but I did have certain skills and I used those. And then there's a bunch of skills that I had to acquire. I promise you, you have everything that you will ever need inside of you. We just have to pull it out, and you need somebody to reflect what they see so that you can be like, okay, you see it too? Oh, okay, cool, right? And just a nod from the universe, like, yeah, let's go down that path and just really work with what you have. And a lot of the business coaches out there, the strategists, the marketers, the gurus, they don't really remind you to look within. They are asking you to get this new thing and try this new strategy and do all these things that are really, one, why you're not budging from the place that you're at and why you feel so fatigued is because your energy's leaking, because you're putting your energy just trying to get to fix and fill when you just have to integrate what's within. I want to remind you that my goal here is to give you all of the things that you need for your business. Like, there's no secrets here. You might be missing some of the foundational parts of business, but once you understand that, you can go and run. But the true strategy and the true piece that you're missing that's going to help you burst through your ceiling and make that your new floor and then hit that next limit and just really transform and quantum leap is understanding the internal strategies. I'm going to help you learn how to look at it through your human design and astrology, your energetic blueprint. It's the mechanics of you. You can be doing all the right things, hustle, go, not yielding results. Or one of the things are setting on fire, but not the whole thing is working in a flow and building momentum. Or you can be on the other spectrum where you're hiding and you're so afraid and you're not doing anything and you're keeping all your energy inside you and nothing's really getting out. And therefore, if it's not out, how can it come back to you? And we're causing that stifling there. I'm a 2-4 sacral generator in human design. You're going to learn about what your profiles mean later. And I really teach it inside of Conscious Biz Creator. But I consciously, as a 2-line, want a hermit. Like, I want to go away and do my thing and maybe I'll see you. That's how my energy type works. So how do I build a business? How do I lend to that? Well, you'll see I'm not constantly posting on social media because my Captivate, the thing that I focus on when it comes to attracting visibility and traffic for my business, at this stage, focus on paid ads. And I do a very low budget ads process so that I can honor my natural energy where I go in seasons where I'm posting a lot online. And then I have my hermit seasons where I'm not posting online and I'm having more of my private time and working behind the scenes and learning and cultivating myself and spending time in my world. And I think that's really important, is to understand how your mechanics work so that you can honor that. Because there was a time where I was like, oh, I have to, oh, I should, oh, I need, and nothing was landing because I was forcing it and I was burnt out because I was constantly present and not really saying anything because I didn't have any time to just like spend in my genius zone, right? And that's very 2-line. But that 4-line of me is built for the network and my community and creating that. Do both, but it's cyclical. You might be listening and be like, oh, I feel like that's me. And so it's really important to understand and build your process. I don't feel the pressure to need to be on 24/7. And my business still works for me and my vision and what I'm looking to cultivate right now in this season. And when I'm in a different season, it might look different. And there are times we're going to need to stretch past our current capacity to get to that next level. But just know that there are the things that you need to do in business to have a thriving business, and the ways that you get to do it get to be very personalized to you. And that's what this whole series is about. Then just to continue on, since I opened this loop for you, the 6-figure sales cycle, we have Captivate, which is all about attracting visibility and traffic. We have Cultivate, which is all about nurturing your aligned audience, nurturing your soulmate clients, building that community in the spaces that are behind the scenes. And this nurturing can also be automated. How exciting. You don't do manual labor nurturing. I'm all about finding ways to make it be really dropped in and true to yourself and your authenticity, but also working while you're busy doing something else. Convert is all about authentic sales and enrollment. Are you being of service by selling? And do people know that they can work with you? That's something really important to know. Can they go to your page and see, oh yeah, I can work with her. Oh, she's selling this thing. As well as change. And change is the most important because all of that stuff is external and change is internal. So what happens when they cross that bridge to work with you? And you want to really focus on curating your delivered promise and transformation and creating a space that allows for your client's success. And that is your offer. Change happens in your offer, in your experiences. If you're finding, oh, I actually don't have anything to create change and I don't have an offer and I don't have anything to create that impact, then that's okay. I teach all of these 4 steps inside Conscious Biz Creator, but it's just good to know. And perhaps from your quiz, you might have gotten offer clarity as your biz block. You might also recognize that whatever quiz result you got, you might find that you have small holes in all 4 of the 6-figure success cycle. And that is normal and that makes sense. And that's okay. And there's a way to fix it. Knowing that the foundation is rooted in your energetics, rooted in your process, how you do it, how I do it. I'm not necessarily saying that's how you do it. Depends. Maybe we have some overlap, but we have to look at your energetics. We have to look at your design. There's a way that you are designed to do it. But how your business is going to flow, this continual momentum of moving your aligned audience and new people who are finding you into paying soulmate clients, and then you deliver this brilliant, beautiful, clear, amazing experience and or offer solution, this cycle can continue and it builds revenue growth. And we just want to make sure all of those points in the wheel are clear and set up so that we can pull it and it can start going. And then we're going to give it another push and we're going to give it another push. And then it's going to have this momentum and we're just going to keep refining it. And then it's not like I have to build anything from scratch. I have to burn it all down. No, you're refining it as you go. And then it's set up in a way that you can really light the fire. It's good for scale. But first, we're looking at stability and we're looking at momentum and we're building the foundation. I promise you, this is the missing link. And that alignment gap that I was talking about really lives in your energetics. Imagine everything that you're creating, from your marketing to your offers to your content and the sales conversations that you're having, really just spring to the core of who you are. You don't have to put on anything. You're just living in the seat of yourself versus faking until you make it. Which faking until you make it, there's a place for that in terms of embodying this other version. There's this acting exercise that we used to do. It's I'm Sydney, you are you. But if I were Juliet, in Romeo and Juliet, how would I respond? Taking those circumstances, putting them into use. There's then this whole mindset work that we have to do. That's a totally different video in the series, but something you can play with now is I. But if I were, and that's how we fake it till we make it. We're not really faking it because it's a version of you and it's within you. But if I were my $1 million CEO self, I wouldn't be concerned about sharing my work. I wouldn't be concerned about posting content. I wouldn't be concerned about inviting someone to join me in my program because they said they were struggling with X, Y, and Z. I. But if I were that version of myself, I would not be wasting my time. It's a lot of mindset embodiment work, which I don't think is talked about enough. And that's why I'm saying there's dual strategies happening here. We have our external strategies where you get so much of that online. And it's simple. It's the 6-figure sales cycle. You need those things and then your business is flowing. Then there's the internal strategies, and that has to be unlocked. That's the foundation for when things are happening. You are a pillar. You're centered and connected CEO self. And have you been doing that? You need to ask yourself. Inside Conscious Biz Creator, my hybrid group program, where we do it together because the community network is important and making sure that you're working together as a group of people that are like, oh, we're in this together. Your vision is similar to mine, right? We get to connect on that. But then also, I think the one-on-one portion is so key because of the personalization, understanding your human design astrology. You're tailoring your business processes and strategies to how you're here to do it. That's how we make it sustainable. It's got to be leveraging how you're here to do it and your strengths and the things that come from you just so naturally. That's another reason why you're tired, girl, I know. And then practical marketing, because you do need to put yourself out there. You do need real strategies that convert, but rooting it back to your energetics, you just need to deliver it in a way that fits you. And then identifying your magnetic message, crafting content that comes from a place that allows your clients and your aligned audience to feel seen and speaking in their language, and also creating content in a way that is magnetic from the way that you're here to speak. In our energetics, we have our throat center where it's like, okay, we can work with the gates that we've activated, but then also let's look at your Mercury. What's your content style? I even have a video of that I can connect here. But there's so much nuance of leveraging the way that we communicate. You might be like, I'll never do a video like Sydney's doing right now. What? I could never. Well, my Mercury's in Gemini and I like to go there, like to talk long. Honestly, these short reels, they're not doing it for me. That's just what it is. I have to leverage and work with my strengths and not try to fit myself into something that doesn't work for me. Do I utilize it? Yes. But is it the lever that I'm always pulling? No. A key point in that internal piece that I want to highlight right here when it comes to that alignment gap and making sure that we understand that your energetic boundaries are so important. Your life is bigger than your to-do list. The detriment that it creates when you continue to say yes to things that you want to say no to, one, or when you keep giving to the shoulds when there's a clear path for you that resonates with you more. And it's all about working smarter, not harder, and really establishing your energetic boundaries. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, but being steadfast in them so that you can get to where you're trying to go in one piece, one, satisfied, nourished, and maybe faster. I'm so excited. This is just the beginning. We're going to get into every single quiz result. There are 4 biz blocks. We're going to get into those. There's going to be a video specifically for each of them. And then we'll talk about some of the other frameworks that I think are really important. We'll dive into the 6-figure success cycle, because that's honestly the foundation of business. And I'll have a video in the series that's dedicated specifically to your energetics and what parts of your human design astrology really you get to bring through and utilize and leverage in your business. And if you took the quiz, don't forget to book your free strategy call where we can look at the process and talk about ways to fix that block in your specific business. I want to hear about your business. We're going to look at your chart. We're going to lay out a little roadmap for you to actually implement a way to fix that current block for you. Make sure to book that call. That's going to be in your email with your quiz results. And if you haven't taken the quiz, don't forget readingnewliving.com/CBC quiz. Tell me what you got, send me a message, respond back to my email, and we can chat about it. Make sure to secure your spot for the free strategy call. I'd love for you to drop in the comments any other questions, things that are coming through, aha moments, anything that you want to ask me, anything that you want to know about, leave it below. Let's have a dialogue. Mercury in Gemini, and I'm a Gemini. I have 3 planets in Gemini. Feel free also to send me a voice note over on Instagram. We can talk more one-on-one and any way that I can help you and serve you. And currently, if you want to share a little bit of where you are in your business and what's the stuck point, I'd love to support you through that. I will see you in the next video. Love ya, and thanks for being here.